Okay, this experience happened about 3 weeks after a physical abduction by the Greyz that I had. And I do believe the aliens gave me this experience, a virtual reality experience of being abducted by well, not abducted, but by not military people, but government people that came into my house. But this was a virtual reality experience in the altered state of consciousness, and the government does have the ability to do that to me, but they've only done it like once, maybe a couple other times, but because they can hijack off the alien implants. And I was awake when the Greyz, well actually, or a Grey type of species, put an implant in my left ear and at the top of my head and in my knee. I was awake. And so sometimes the government can hijack off those implants and give people virtual reality experiences. But because I did have one March of 2014. But this experience, and I also heard somebody said, some ufologists said that the government can easier tamper with you once you've been messed with by the Greyz, once you've been, I guess, abducted or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but I know how my aliens operate. And I was abducted physically, sucked up out of bed around April 4th of 2013, and then 3 weeks later I was given this virtual reality experience about, you know, military, aka government people coming into my house, tampering with me. They didn't abduct me, they just tampered with me. And, but see, my aliens operate like, they always give me experiences after I've learned something or have something in my brain, you know. I mean, I could just, like, just a second ago, I was listening to public television and they, what country were they talking about? Crap, what was it? I forgot what country they were talking about. Not Paraguay, something like that. But anyway, so I was like, aliens, aliens. Are you going to give me a virtual reality experience, you know, lucid dream or whatever, to that country? I forgot what it was now, dang it. Because that's how they are. I mean, I could just be thinking about something, like how my friend, her mom, I remember she saying her mom lived in Ohio, and then boom, they'll take Ohio, you know, out of my brain, the aliens, and give me a virtual reality experience to Ohio, or a lucid dream, or out-of-body experience. To Ohio the next morning or whatever. They're funny like that. They've been doing this all my life, but the government did give me a virtual reality experience in 2014 of March. But anyway, so this experience, and like I say, I was, did I already say this? Because this video kept screwing up. But yeah, I was awake when a Grey type of species, put an implant in my left ear and on top of my head and my knee. I was totally awake. That was in 2013 when they put those implants. And like I say, even though they're non-physical, I guess the government sometimes can also tap in and give people virtual reality experiences in the altered state of consciousness. But anyway, I don't know how they do it, but I know they did it in 2014 to me at the end of March. But anyway, okay, so this is how this MILAB abduction went down. See, after that physical abduction, when I was sucked up out of bed by the Greyz around April 4th of 2013, I was listening on YouTube about MILABs. Like for like at least a week or two, I just kept listening to a couple videos. I think they were coast to coast. A lot of them were like coast to coast videos on YouTube about MILABs, and I was just, you know, listening. But not once do I ever remember them saying, and I never even saw any videos or anything or listened about how they jab you in the left side of your neck with a needle. Not once. I'll talk about that later. Okay, so anyway, so then, you know, 3 weeks, or at least after a week or two after listening to MILAB videos, the aliens decided to, boom, trigger a virtual reality experience about a MILAB abduction. So this is what happened. I want to say it was like a Wednesday or Thursday morning, probably about 5 or 6 a.m. And these agents came into my house. This was an altered state of consciousness. out-of-body experience, but it could have just been a pure virtual reality experience. Because sometimes, you know, I'm out of body. Sometimes it's both. The aliens will take me out of body and then boom, stick me in a virtual reality scenario, meaning it's not exactly real. They just make up the dimension for me or whatever. But sometimes they can just, the aliens can do this too, and that's how the government did it to me too. Just bam, trigger the virtual reality experience, where you're not necessarily out of body, but of course you feel like you're out of body. You don't feel any different than 3D. I mean, it feels no different than right now walking around in 3D. But anyway, okay, so this is how it went down. The military people came, not military people, military aka government people. They were government people more than they were military people. 4 people came into my house, at least 2 men and 2 women came into my house, my front door. And like I said, I was in bed. This was a virtual reality experience that they triggered, the aliens. And I was in my living room. And I watched these people come into my house. And they set up their equipment around the living room, like 3 or 4 black luggage things, boxes, whatever you call them. I don't know what you call them. And they were like taking equipment out. I can't remember what the equipment looked like right at this time, but at the moment. But yeah, so they were like setting up around my living room, like equipment and shit. And I was like kind of scared, right? So then, and I wasn't really saying much. I was just being real quiet. But they were pretty nice. They didn't really seem real mean or anything. And so, but anyway, my whole house in this scenario was like bigger. I mean, it was exactly like my house, exact replica, except it was just in this scenario much bigger. Like much bigger, like 1/3 bigger. You know, hallway was 1/3 longer. The kitchen dining room area was 1/3 bigger. But anyway, so you know, I was kind of like scared or whatever. And I was just being real quiet when they came into my house, these 4 government people, aka possibly military people. They didn't have like military uniforms on. I can't remember exactly what they had on, but they were more government people than military people. So anyway, so I went to get my cell phone out of my work bag, which I have it right there by the door, by the back bedroom door. And that's where they triggered the virtual reality experience, because I was sleeping in the back bedroom. Okay, so I got my cell phone out of my bag, my work bag. And I went down the hallway and went into that 3rd bedroom, which I don't go into very often. And one of the female agents came walking down with me into the bedroom, and I was leaning down on my knees about to call my mom, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm calling my mom or whatever, because I was going to narc on them, you know what I mean? And she's like, no, you can't do that. And so she took the phone away from me. And you know, because she didn't want me to call my mom. And so then I went back down the hallway, and I went into the kitchen and leaned down in front of the dishwasher, you know, my white dishwasher. And an agent, a male agent, came over to my left side of my body, and he jabbed me in the side of my left part of my neck. He jabbed me with a syringe, a needle. And that was not anything at all that I ever heard of or saw in a video. You know what I'm saying? When I saw those videos, not once did I hear of that. And it was kind of funny because several months later, like 5-6 months later, I watched this woman or man or whatever from the David Icke forums. She started doing videos on YouTube. I think it's a woman. I'm not sure if it's a woman or man, but named 2 Circles. And anyway, she had this MILAB video, this little skit, this MILAB video, and a guy jabs this man in the left side of the neck of a needle, you know, with a needle, syringe. And I was thinking, weird, because I was like, that's what the aliens put in my virtual reality experience, you know, several months previous. And yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting, because the aliens did not get that from my brain. Because I never even saw anything about that, being poked in the neck by a syringe, and you know, in the neck with a needle. I only learned of that till many months later after I had this experience. So that was kind of weird. So anyway, and I cannot remember if at that time when he jabbed me in the neck with the needle. I can't remember if I literally started feeling like faintly or whatever. It's possible, and I just don't remember that part. I mean, I did write this down, but it'd be too hard to try to go find it on the forums. But anyway, because, you know, under these experiences, oh my God, you can feel it. They can make you feel anything. But I want to say I don't recall. I don't think I did. I don't think I felt any sensations. I just like woke up out of the experience. That was the end of the experience after he jabbed me with the syringe at the left side of my neck. And I mean, like I say, this is complete virtual reality, and the aliens kept me, you know, in my house this time. This isn't the only experience I had where the aliens kept me in my house. I believe Joel now, it was Joel that gave me those two back-to-back experiences back about 3 years ago. One in the back bedroom on a Friday, and then another one in the front bedroom on a Sunday. But yeah, I think that was Joel, and both times he actually kept me in my house. One of them I already talked about, but the other one I haven't talked about yet. One of them was the one where I felt his scales, and I do believe that was Joel now, but at the time I didn't name Joel or whatever. So anyway, so basically this was kind of like a MILAB abduction, except it was just a fake MILAB abduction. You know, the aliens gave it to me because they always prey on my thoughts, what I just read, or my interest, or fears, or whatever. They always prey on that. Like I say, I could just, like, right, you know, tonight or whatever, I saw on, or I heard, that country or whatever on public television. Uruguay or something. It wasn't that. I can't remember what it was. So I started talking to the aliens. Hey, are you going to come take me there in the morning, or this morning, you know? So hopefully they'll take me there. I can't remember what the country was called now. I mean, they do shit like that. They've been doing stuff like that all my life. They've taken me to Chicago, New York, Romania, Africa, Cambodia, Monette, Ohio, many other places, Joplin, and a lot of those stories, New York City. That one I have not posted because I remember a lot of details, but I forgot too many details because at the time I didn't realize the aliens were giving me all these experiences. But yeah, they took me to New York City. It was a blast, man. I remember a lot of details though. There was some sexual stuff in it. It was kind of comical. Like I say, the reptilians are doing a lot of these virtual reality experiences, and the Greyz, mainly the reptilians, and it's funny because most of the time they put funny little sexual things in there and stuff. Not all the time though. But okay, so like I say, this was a MILAB abduction sort of, and like I said, for many weeks, 2-3 weeks after that physical abduction, after I was sucked out of bed by the Greyz, I was listening to these MILAB videos, and so the aliens decided to give me this scenario under, you know, virtual reality experience in the altered state of consciousness. So basically it was a government abduction, not necessarily military abduction, but yeah, and two, you know, they already programmed my brain lots of times. When I'm in the scenario, it's like, okay, I know, I'm in Romania, I'm in Monette, they already programmed my brain that I already know that. So when I was having this experience, I knew it was like a MILAB abduction. But of course, after I woke up and everything, you know, I knew it was the aliens giving it to me. I know it wasn't the government that gave it to me. But I mean, there's this other one too I need to talk about, which there's only a couple others that I think could have been maybe the government that gave them to me, these virtual reality experiences, and this was all like 6 o'clock in the morning on a weekday. There's a couple others that I think possibly could have been the government, but like I said, most of all these experiences are by the aliens. But this one on March of 2014, 2 months after this other physical abduction, which was freaking horrid. This was at 9:30 or 9 o'clock at night when the Greyz physically abducted me around January 29th of 2014. It was 2 months later, around March 20th or whatever of 2014, where the government did come in and give me a virtual reality experience. And this is how it went down. This woman, and I since when she started talking to me via my left ethereal implant that they already, I guess, know that the aliens put in my left ear, I sensed that she probably did look like a cross between these two women right here. Similar. I don't sense she had blonde hair. I sense she had brown hair and kind of, I don't know. I just believe she probably did look like kind of a cross between these two women that I happened to find on the internet. But yeah. So this woman taught, except she was maybe a little older, I think. But this woman talked to me in my left, and this was like a weekday too, week morning, I want to say, like 6 in the morning, something like that. And I want to say it was a Wednesday or Thursday morning. And so this woman agent talked to me in my left ear, and she's like, okay, she told me basically the aliens have been doing this all my life, which I already kind of figured that out. And I didn't hear every single word she said, you know, because it's not exactly easy when aliens or human agents try to talk to you via left ear implant or whatever it's called, microwave hearing or whatever. I don't think it was microwave hearing. I think it was just they used my left ear implant. And so a lot of words I did not quite understand, but basically she said, a lot of words I did understand. She said she was going to give me this virtual reality experience, and she said the aliens have been doing it all my life, which I've already figured that out. And she started giving me instructions. She said that I'm about to give you a virtual reality experience, and what I'm going to do is at the end of it, I'm going to ring the landline phone. Ring, ring, ring. I'm going to ring it 3 times. She says she's going to ring the landline phone 3 times. Well, I don't even own a landline phone. And so then she plopped me down, she bam, triggered the virtual reality experience, and they know, they obviously can read your brain to a certain degree, even human agents. I don't think they can, you know, I think it takes perfect, you know, perfect circumstance or timing or whatever where they can pick up on that. I don't think they could just read it 24/7, 365. But anyway, so they know I've been wanting to go out on my driveway and clean up a scuff mark, a tire scuff mark. And so anyway, so basically she plopped me down, you know, 1 p.m. and it was sunny. And I was like, wow, I can't be sitting here in the sun on my driveway, you know, because I can't, especially 1 o'clock, I'm allergic to the sun. So apparently they know I've been wanting to do that. And then so she triggered, you know, me to bam. And a total virtual reality, just like being in 3D. And then she plopped me back in bed, so to speak. I went back to bed. I was back in my bed. And I heard ring, ring, ring. And I really thought it was a real landline phone. I mean, I thought it was real. And of course, after I snapped out of it back in 3D, I was just like, wow, that was like so cool. And it confused me so bad because I was like, was that a freaking alien talking like they're human? But no, I think it was the government that actually did give me that experience, no doubt. Because, yeah, that wasn't an alien that was acting human. That was a human. But, and that's not, you know, the aliens also, lots of times, they will give me virtual reality experience